anyone down there?
Keep in mind that the chair also moved 4 times before she started filming, so this wasn't...
So look, before coming to New Orleans, you hear me? A lot of y'all be asking me about how you go see the voodoo lady or the priestesses and the witches and stuff like that. You might want to be careful when you're going downtown, baby. Everybody downtown in that French Quarter don't mean you right.
Hey guys, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into the New Orleans spooky stories. It's a lot of warnings before you go down there, but I think New Orleans is a pretty cool place, but I think we should be aware of this. Comment down below y'all thoughts.
So I guess there's some paranormal activity going on at the New Orleans airport. My friend has a friend who works at the New Orleans airport, and she sent her this video. It's pretty crazy.
Hello? Is anyone down there?
Keep in mind that the chair also moved 4 times before she started filming, so this wasn't even just a one-time thing. Let me know what you guys think.
Alright you guys, this is my part 2 to my New Orleans trip, and we're going to talk about the vampires that I saw. So fast forward a bit into my trip, both of my friends got there and we decided to go out and walk Bourbon Street and just see what the nightlife was like. We ended up at this bar that had live music, and it was a pretty big space. I don't remember what it was called, I wish I did. But when you walk in, there's like the bar on the side, and then this is what caught my eye at first. There was this table in the back right corner that a lot of people were sitting at, and they were sitting like on top of the table and on the actual like benches of the table. Their vibe was completely different than everyone else's in the room. It was just kind of, the only way that I can describe it, it was like a still darkness. It was just kind of off. But there were these 2 guys in particular that caught my attention. One was this tall black guy, right? That was sitting on one of the table, very tall. And this other guy who was like a shorter white guy, you know. But they both looked very interesting. But I turned back towards the bar so that I can grab my drink and talk to my friend that was next to me. Tell me how, as soon as I turned around with my drink, he was standing there right in front of me. Like some Twilight shit. He started talking to my friend, asking where we're from, what we were doing. Now, one of my friend's boyfriends, who actually lives in New Orleans, was with us, by the way. But anyway, this vampire dude and his tall friend convinced my friends, not me, that we needed to go to this bar. I think that's one of the oldest bars that's in New Orleans, and they have this unlisted shot that you have to ask the bartender for that's not on the menu. And as we started walking, we noticed that we're getting further and further away from, you know, Touristville. And by this time, I really wish that I could explain it, but the vibes were just so weird. They were so weird. And I told my friends pretty much that it was a really creepy vibe. Like, why do we need to go all the way out somewhere else just for a shot, you know? And on top of that, their energy was just not normal. And my friend's boyfriend agreed with me. And I specifically remember like typing out a text on my phone. And as we were walking, I showed it to my friend's boyfriend. And I straight up said, I think they're vampires. And he just looked at me like with the most serious look, like, I don't know why he didn't say anything out loud. Like, I guess maybe he didn't want to seem like the crazy one. But this is where shit started to get real. So there has to be a part 3 to this because there's no way I'm going to be able to fit it. So I'm going to...
Surprisingly, to me mostly, this is my first ever story time, and I love telling a good story, so expect this to be the first of many. So I'm starting out with a bit of a spooky one. So a few years ago, my friend and I went to New Orleans, and we were there for a weekend as part of a longer road trip. And just unfortunate timing, the weekend that we were in New Orleans, there was a big golf tournament and a jazz festival. So loads of the hotels were completely booked up and everything was really expensive. So we ended up having 2 options. One was in like a really bad area with really bad reviews about how unsafe it was. And the other one just looked creepy as hell. But we decided to go with the creepier looking one rather than the one that actually had documented threats to life. So we booked this hotel. When we pulled up, it's like a typical like New Orleans type of building. Like the outside balconies like looked quite run down. Looked like the orphanage from Annie is what we were calling it. And We went in and we checked in, and my friend goes, don't look at the pictures on the walls. Just do yourself a favor and don't look, because she's already looked. And I'm so easily scared. She's not much better, but like, I'm such a scaredy cat of all things, like paranormal, ghosts, whatever. Like, I'm just scared of everything. So I didn't look at the pictures. I was like, okay, I won't. Fast forward to the nighttime. It was kind of noisy. There was lots of drunk people staying there, but it's New Orleans. It was also like not very clean. Like, we found like hairs on the towels and stuff like that. So we didn't want to get in the bed sheets. So we were laid like on top of the bed with our like jackets over us to go to sleep. And we had no TV in the room or anything. So we're just like trying to get some sleep. We were only there for 2 nights. This is the first night. And I could hear like musical bells. I kept hearing bells and like little tinkling bells. And I was like, it's just someone else's TV. It's just, you know, someone listening to something. It's whatever. And like, I forced myself to go to sleep. The next day, we are about to go off like sightseeing, and I hear the receptionist telling this couple who really wanted to stay in a haunted location about the history of the building. And I wish to God I had not heard this, because as we're leaving, I hear her tell this couple, oh yeah, this used to be an old orphanage, but nearly all the kids died at one point from Spanish influenza. So now you can hear, they like to pull pranks because they used to like hear bells and that was the end of their lesson. So now the kids ring the bells themselves so they can get out of class early. Cue my terror for the next night.
Hey guys, so I'm back with another creepy story. This time I decided to do it outside. It feels good outside. It's like 7 degrees here in Alabama in February. But anywho, so this creepy story takes place in New Orleans when me and my twin sister went to visit. We was in 9th grade. So let me give you a backdrop first. Okay, so my twin sister had best friends. So her parents decided they was going to New Orleans for the day and they wanted to take my sister. And so me and her best friend really didn't get along at the time because she had a slick mouth and I had an even slicker mouth. So me and her didn't even get along too much. So, but my mom told the parents, if you take one twin, you gotta take the other one. You can't just take one, don't take the other twin, you know. So the parents like, okay, of course her friend was mad. So I was like, yeah, baby, take me. But anywho, so we go down to New Orleans and we was having fun. We was seeing the sights, whatever, on Bourbon Street. We was in the French Quarters. And we go to the gift shop. So we wanted to buy some stuff for our siblings and our parents and grandmother. So we go down to the gift shop and my sister friend, their parents were a little older. They was older in age, and my sister friend, she was kind of a little overweight a little bit. So the parents got tired while we was in the gift shop. It was a long line. They got tired of waiting. So they was like, look, we parked around the corner. We knew exactly where they parked. They said, just come to the car when y'all get through. We was like, okay, cool, bye. So the parents went on by their business. So we stood in line with me and my twin and her best friend. So her best friend, she got tired too waiting. She was like, look, I'm going to the car with my parents. I just see y'all when y'all get to the car. And we was like, okay, cool. So me and my sister, we get out the car. I'm sorry, I'm looking at a golf cart. But anyway, so we pay for our purchases and we walking out the store. So directly across from the store was a voodoo shop. Yeah, this lady came out the shop. It was like a black woman. She had like this whole white mask on, like a red dot in her forehead. She had like a white turban on. She had this all white dress. And so when me and my sister, it kind of shook us for a minute because we kind of paused for a minute. So when we walked out the store, she stopped and she stared at us, and it was so scared. She was staring in our soul. So me and my twin was like, oh, okay. So we start walking towards, I'm sure what we did. So we get out the store. So me and my twin, we just walking and we noticed the lady walking. So we stopped and we looked at her. She stopped too. So we kept walking, we stopped, she stopped too. So this time me and my sister, we speed walking. The lady speed walking too. So me and my twin was like, heck no, that shit's creepy as heck. So we was like, okay, so me and my sister looked at each other. We said, when we get to this corner, we're gonna take off, we're gonna run, we're gonna haul ass, right? Because we had just got through running track that previous time. So we said, girl, we just gonna run. Hold on. Y'all comment your thoughts of what you think was after her and her twin sister. I honestly think it could have been a witch. How it was just persistent after them. She did do a part 2. I could put her on a part 2 when I make another one of the New Orleans theme. In the first one, vampires, is crazy. Now this is what's crazy. A lot of people say it's the vampires in there, but it's not like blood-sucking ones, like energy vampires. Y'all comment down below y'all thoughts so far. As let's get back into this New Orleans scare story.
New Orleans and the spookiness. She's not wrong, and I just experienced some weirdo stuff. So listen here. So I travel for work, and recently I've had to go to New Orleans like twice. Never had any bad experiences in New Orleans. It's been quite a party city for me. A lot of blackout nights, so I don't really think too much of it. But the past few times, things have happened that have been a little unexplainable. So the first situation, it was back in February. It was at the Hyatt Regency. I was there for a work event. Pretty nice hotel. It doesn't get like super old or anything. And it's not necessarily in the French Quarters. So didn't think anything of it. One of the nights I go to sleep, I'm waking up about 2 a.m. by something that sounds like, oh, hold please. It sounds like, this is my example of someone turning a page. So I don't know if y'all are getting, but either way, what's that noise? So I heard it for a minute, but I'm like, maybe it's something outside, but then I keep hearing it. So at this point, I'm up. I'm like, what's up? What's good? And it doesn't happen again. Like the noise doesn't ever continue. So I'm up for like an hour because I'm like, ghost, it's a ghost. It's a ghost. And I can't do anything about it but go back to sleep. So that was the first situation. The second one most recently happened. I stayed at the Omni Royal Orleans or something like that. It's the Omni. And I was there for another work trip. Now this one, it was giving 1920s. Like, I don't even know if that's the right era, but it was giving spooky Halloween town. And as soon as I walked in this thing, I'm like, I'm going to have an experience. Like the halls are very old. It just gives like old Victorian, I don't know. It gives like very much so someone's living in this house. So the first night, again, around 2 a.m., I hear something that sounds like this. If y'all hear that, hopefully y'all do. But it's like nails or a hand is going like this on a wall, on a door, on something. Again, what is it that you want from me? Like, what is it that you want? So I wake up and I don't hear the noise again. Who's out there? Like, is anybody out there? It's giving Titanic. What is it? What do you want? How can I help you? So I later on, after listening to her story, looked up this hotel. Now it says this particular hotel is known for paranormal activity, and guests have seen a maid walking the hallways. Guests have been woken up by a maid or a guest tucking in their linens in the bed, standing right beside them. Like, excuse me? So you're telling me I was in a true haunted house or haunted hotel and I didn't even know it?